Hi everyone, today is February the 4th, 2025. Welcome to the Kubescape community meeting. Let me share my screen to see the agenda. Ben, do you have something for the agenda?
Not really.
Okay.
There is one thing I wanted to, if everyone is here, I want to discuss, but let me just, I will edit. It's not very urgent. Well, we got, but I'm going to edit.
Okay. Good. Yeah, maybe we can start with Giant, who wanted to speak about like one issue that he looked at and maybe worked on.
Yeah, actually, that Google registry issue, like it was talking about that it wasn't able to correctly check if some of the images were actually like it was a Google yeah, it was in Google registry or not. So like I went through the documentation and I found that like in them, all of them had gcr.io, which was in the code for the image type. So like it might have some prefix, but yeah, the code string.contains should work with that. So I was not able to think like in which image types it wouldn't work.
Yeah, I just I'm wondering why there wasn't any reply. So yeah, so what you suggest is to again
Yeah. So like I just checked out on the Google that the Google registry what the URLs were there, like the image tags, and all of them had gcr.io as in their string. So like either it had something like eo.gcr.io or aco.gcr.io, like the code should work with that, like, but it is still failing, and I was not sure on what cases it was happening.
because pkg.dev actually who owns this one? Does it belong to Google? Oh yeah, it belongs to them. Yeah, probably if they yes, I mean it's probably fine to implement this. Let's see. Okay, I don't. Do you want to create a PR for that? Because VJ didn't reply to this. Or
Yeah, I can create a PR, but like, should I work with the code that he suggested, or like some other thing?
should you? Sorry.
Should I work with the code he suggested, like also adding the string of controls for .pkg.dev?
Let's try exactly that and see how it goes. Because I think we're safe to say that like probably nobody else than Google is gonna use this domain. So because it's owned by Google. So yeah, let's implement exactly that and see if that helps.
Hmm.
Okay, good. Should I assign it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't
Now.
have. This is
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Cool. And now since I saw we were talking about like image pool secrets, it reminds me that we saw a bug dating from like 2021 actually. If you have like image pool secrets with more than one credentials, we actually only take the first one. So I have opened a PR. I need to change something in the KTS interface first, then move back here, and then suddenly all works. I don't know why it took us like so many years to find this, but yeah.
No one uses multiple pool secrets.
Actually, I mean, no, the use case makes sense because if you have like private images, and you have like containers, pods with like init containers or sidecars like Istio. If you want to use Docker credentials to prevent rate limiting, then you need to have like several.
Okay.
Where do you know it from, Matthias?
So yeah, I think it's good. So I'm gonna release a new operator with that, and then all will be fine. Cool. Ben.
Yeah. Okay, so there is I'm talking to a few guys at Google. They are saying that at KubeCon they will have in their booth they are going to have like these advocacy slash teaching sessions where they offered me to submit a proposal um, on related to to Kubescape. I suggested to an idea and wanted to validate with the forum here and everyone who hears that I thought that we could do a demo session like with a training. They're calling it demo session, but according to the way they are describing it, more sounds like a training session where we could show install a GK cluster, put Kubescape runtime detection into that cluster, and install Kubernetes Goat in the cluster, and start to attack cluster and show the detection. Now it's less interesting, for GK on itself because in theory this essentially show connection to Google. But then I saw that there is a security command center feature in GKE, and
Oh.
there is no API where we could push the alerts to from Kubescape. And I wanted to ask you, mostly you, Matthias, that how complex to develop exporter, develop an exporter which sends the data to the Google to the Google endpoint.
Yeah, we
And
could try that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we need to find some API documentation for that, but
there is API documentation. And then, it would be very nice that, like sending all the like integration into the Google ecosystem, which would be nice. Writing an export. If so, I'm going to submit today a proposal and I will open an issue on the node agent, I guess.
Yeah.
To develop an exporter to Google. Then if it gets accepted, then we will send it to. Then we'll need to do a setup, an installation that brings up a GK cluster, installs Kubescape, installs Goat, and sets up the exporter and shows that this thing is working. I think it's a fun.
Yeah. That's definitely that's very nice. And if we can like use their booth, it will be like super cool. Again, what is it? The dashboard? No,
It is called Security Command Center. Check again. It is, Security Command Center, GCP Security Command Center.
GCP.
GCP is Security Command Center.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because the free version is very like you have the dashboard, but you don't really have sensors, and you need to pay for sensors. But in this case, the Kubescape would be a sensor.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, the other thing is, I don't know if we run out of time or not, but in theory, we should have, if we wanted to, anyone wants to be a mentor, we should have or should be submitting proposals for the mentorship. Matthias, we thought of two things, right? One is the secret scanning, right, in the vulnerability.
Yes, 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 yes.
And
Inside the image, yeah.
Yeah, inside the image. And the second was, do you remember what was the second?
Gosh. Of course, we didn't take notes.
A host scan, host vulnerability scanning, maybe.
Yes, yes,
Oh.
yes. Like moving the host scanner in Node agent.
So since we moved no, so scanning the Kubernetes node for host vulnerabilities. Oh no, sorry, you're right. You're
No.
right. You're right.
No,
You're
no,
right.
no, yeah. The host vulnerabilities. This is the what was supposed to present during the contrib fest.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mixed up. So I'm most likely I will submit the image secret scanning. And
Mhm.
anyone wants to do a mentorship, then should do the same for the other.
What about things that we talked about in terms of updating to the latest framework versions? Anybody who wants to learn
Yeah.
about security controls and Rigo?
But I'm going to be like really frank here.
Yes.
That's not something that will work in a mentorship.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
It won't work.
Okay.
I'm working on the CIS 1.10 this month.
Okay.
Oh, really cool.
So yeah, but we are missing CIS GKE, and we are like there are like anyone who wants to contribute work on frameworks. It's more than welcome. Anyone who hears this in the cyberspace. Okay, that were the things.
Do we support Dora or NIS2?
I don't
Not
remember.
explicitly, no.
No, because
Dara for sure, not explicitly. And I think
okay.
NIST 2 we haven't upgraded yet either.
Okay, because I remember that I saw something in the marketing channel about Dora, but maybe it was like just your post. It was
I
not.
wrote a blog post, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, too bad.
Which is
Because
why I say not explicitly, because Dora has, these overarching guidelines. It's a little like SOC 2. You have to decide what you're going to test and then test and be compliant about that. So I don't know if they have specific or explicit security controls that you have to take into account, or you just have to say, I follow CIS benchmark.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Because for SOC 2, we don't have like a SOC 2 option?
Again, I think
Like,
it's pretty similar. Ben, you built that out.
Yeah, we do have a SOC 2 framework. I'm not sure. I don't think that like Dora, if I recall it correctly, I don't remember. I would need to check. But Dora was like okay with adopting SOC 2 framework.
oh, really?
As a base.
Okay.
But
Because I know that's a hot word beginning of this year. So if it can.
And maybe it makes sense to somehow have a look if Kubescape is Dora compliant.
Yes.
Because one of the things in Dora is that the providers of of these financial institutions need to be DORA compliant as well.
Okay. Who's gonna check that?
Yeah. Rotem is not, she's open for.
Yeah, I can do that. I have no time that way, so.
I don't know. Maybe we dump it on one of the other maintenance when like join maybe David or Nathaniel or Amir.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Sorry, do you hear the noise? Okay, so let's do the bit of triage now. Not so much new stuff, but yeah, we didn't close so much either. So good. I like those issues. So this one, actually, I'm actively working on it. And I was like just missing one config for the air gap to make it work. The KS offline env variable. And this one is being worked on. Good. Didn't we document that you need to have a continuous scanning? Yes.
Yeah.
So that's good. Pull requests. Those are mostly ours. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good. Oh, I was not sharing my screen? Ah, yeah, I was. Okay.
Yeah, you
But
were.
now
you were.
it's okay. Cool. Do we need something to add? Cool. Okay, so let's see each other in 2 weeks.
Sorry. You might wanted to go over the question you had about the Prometheus exporter.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry,
And
I didn't notice the.
we might not have forgotten to add it to the.
Okay, I'm just adding. Okay, go ahead,
Yeah.
Giant.
Yeah, actually, I was not completely able to get the issue. Like, we have an alert manager for Prometheus, like, for we can set rules there also. So I was not sure what this issue was about. Like, I wasn't able to completely understand what we are trying to do. I have sent the issue, link to, but I think I will send it in the chat link.
Can you give the link? Ah, yeah, sorry. Here, yeah. Ah, it was us. Okay.
So okay. Can you open it?
Yes.
Maybe share screen.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, this was just
Okay.
this feature, and yeah, we didn't. It was just when we closed the other backlog, the other roadmap, right?
So, the idea, okay, so there were like the idea here in, and eventually is to export enough data for Prometheus, so so someone can implement notifications or alerting based on this data. So if I recall, Janet, if I remember correctly, what we wanted to do is for a first step, define the things we want to export into Prometheus, the metrics.
Yeah.
Maybe, Matthias, maybe we should also change the ticket, the name of the ticket, because it sounds like a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So I here is following. So let's start to let's open a a short design document for ourselves, just to where we can work on this.
Mm-hmm.
And here was that I, as a user, I want to use Kubescape to monitor misconfigurations and vulnerabilities in my cluster. I have I want to be able to, I want to be able to set up an environment where I'm going to get alerts when there is a new privileged container in my cluster. I want to implement a notification system when I have a new critical vulnerability in my environment. I think these are the kind of the things we want to address. Now, Prometheus Exporter today, as far as I remember, is super. It uses aggregated data, which is like super lost in the sense that we are actually exporting very few information.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. As you said, it's mostly aggregation data.
So, and in order to be able to understand, so there is an like if I we need to think of a way. Oh, we have a new community. So we want to be able to set up alerting rules
Mhm.
in the Prometheus ecosystem, which is Alert Manager,
Mhm.
Grafana, whatever, that when there is a new vulnerability, new critical vulnerability in the environment, I can get notified of in which image, in which workload it happened.
It just means that we need to set it in the metrics we're sending.
So the question is like,
The rules are super simple. The issue is just, you know, the metrics are.
how am I able to set this up through the Prometheus ecosystem? Like how am I like for every workload?
Mhm.
Do I need to
Not for every workload, but we can set up a rule of like, if we have critical vulnerability, I need to recheck it if it's a deltas or like it's iterating the same vulnerabilities count every time.
I'm a little bit concerned here because I'm not 100% sure that the
Mhm.
the metrics export
Mhm.
system
It's designed for exporting alerts.
Is rich enough to be able to say that not just that there was a change in the number of vulnerabilities in a given workload, but to be able to point which vulnerability was added. So I think that we could export at the I don't know pod level, workload level, the number of vulnerabilities every day.
Mhm.
But I don't know like how useful is that I will alert you that there is a new critical vulnerability, but I'm not saying to you what is the new vulnerability. Like, am I able? So
The issue here is not the alert manager,
no, it's not.
it's the Prometheus
It
exporter.
is whether the Prometheus metrics
The alert
are rich
manager,
enough to
Yeah, the alert manager is
Super.
dummy.
yeah.
Like, okay,
super.
that's the rule, go ahead. The issue here is just the exporter and what you want to export like additionally.
Jens, have you been able to a little bit explore the world of Prometheus metrics?
Yeah, like I have set up the Prometheus matrix with Grafana actually. Like I have used the exporter for Kubescape, and like it was given in the documentation Prometheus exporter, I have set up with Grafana.
I think that definitely it would be great to create an exporter which returns. I don't know, like can exporter return the whole vulnerability metrics of a cluster? Like, is it scalable?
Yeah, it can. The issue is that we can have it as the labels. Like the counter is the metric, and then the labels are the data. You understand?
So
What
with
we
list
can
of
do?
CVs,
For example. I mean, it's not that
so
easy to achieve, but we need to see how we do that in matter of exporter. Right, there is the metric that should be, most of the time is a number, because you need to have like a trend, right? The count, and then in the count, you always have, if you're like clicking on a specific dot, you will see like the lines in the Grafana, right? Like, what does it mean, this dot exactly? So you see cluster X, workload Z, da, 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 da.
yeah.
So the issue here is to define the metric.
So yeah, and not just like, again, I think that the more simpler is to, I think the case is a little bit more simple in the case of
Fine.
configuration scan.
Yeah.
Because in the configuration scan, every thing is, it's like a singular entity per workload, so I cannot fail the same no, but that's true for vulnerability is the same. So we would need to export per configuration scan result, we'd need to export per workload all the failed and passed controls. Like we would create a metric per workload per control, and would say pass or fail.
Yeah.
One or two. From that, like all the aggregation methods should be fine in a cluster.
Yeah.
Like you could say, like you can have Prometheus and Grafana and Dollar Ranger sum it up, for example, how many workloads I have with the control failure, I don't know, 12. C0012. Then the same would apply, that we would create per workload a metric for every vulnerability.
That, again, that's the key to define it. I don't think that we'll do it here like on the time we have, but the definition is the hard part. The execution is probably the easiest part.
I'm trying to think, like, anyone who has an idea, like, who is enough, expert in the Prometheus ecosystem to be able to say what if, like, if this is the right direction, and if not, then if there is a right direction in the Prometheus world, like, to do this. Who knows it enough?
I don't want to say me.
Hmm?
I don't want to say me because I'm not.
Oh,
I can, scratch in my head and find the solution, so
so when there's
maybe me and Amir, but it will, but it was like long time ago. I guess we need to remember how to do that.
because again, it's not a very, very simple problem, because like is it like you're saying that there is a CVE? Like I'm not really how is the connections of a single metric, how do you assign it to workload? How do you get it in the context of a specific workload?
Now we do have like criticals and I mean the counters for the CVE per workload. We do have this.
Counters are, I'm okay with it, and my problem with the counters, that's not really good.
But the problem is that Prometheus is not supporting something else but counters. I mean, the TSDB or the view in Grafana is meant for counters.
But
You
my question
understand
is
what I'm
that,
saying?
like, for example, if I have at the pod level, or even at pod per image level, I'm able to define, like I have this metric called CV 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes. Like I have this CV. Is it a metric a metric that makes sense? I can do with it, work with it, because I guess the labels are going to identify it in the context of
The amount of CVE per image per workload.
like I have 300
CVEs in
CVs
the
per
same.
workload. Yeah.
And what will be the label?
The label was going to be the
workload name.
image name, workload name.
And the
namespace.
counter is the amount of CVs.
No.
But this we have, I'm sure.
Yeah, Matthias is right. Like this is
Right.
it's a very specific CV. CV 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have it in a specific workload. Does it make sense?
It makes sense. I'm just thinking of how to do that. It's not that
Okay,
straightforward because I don't like what should be the counter. You understand my question?
0, 1.
Okay, that could work. And then the labels will be the workload, the image name,
Or
CV.
to assess the whether it is relevant or not irrelevant.
But then you will need to export all the CVs to Prometheus with 0 and 1.
Which
All
is
the
not
CV, all the
in the world.
exactly.
That's not the case.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like not every CV in the world, but every CVE that we have in the cluster.
Yes. Yeah.
That means that if we have 2,000 CVs or
More than
more than 50,000, it will be
50,000 metrics.
it's the same metric. CVE per workload per image, for example.
Yeah, but different labels, no?
Exactly.
Because in the labels you need to say which workloads it belongs to.
Yeah.
So there is a single metric with multiple labels.
Yeah.
Okay. That's at least something.
It's label. It's like a parameter in the label, which can replace by the workload, by the image, by whatever.
Where do we put all the metadata information about the CV? Like whether it is.
But that's something we need to, that's the trade-off. You want to see it by workload, or you want to see it by CV? Understand what I'm saying? You can have the metadata also in labels. But again, it will, what you will see, like think of a graph. What you will see ones, just straight line, right? With every point is a CV, right? Or like each point is not a CVE, but each point can even like it doesn't make sense to make it 0, 1.
Jonathan, I don't want to put you like in the middle of this because this requires quite an understanding of how Prometheus works, and I would really need someone who is doing more understands a little bit.
Thank you, Ben, for
no, like you.
I love you too.
We love each other. So give us 2 days. We'll try to give you an example of how how the export the metrics output should look like. I will try to provide you with like, okay, what's the structure of the metrics and what the values and labels should be, with a few examples that enables you to start to work on implementation. But give us like 2-3 days, okay? Cool. I will try to think. I need to have a hard stop now, but let's look back to this in a few days.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Giant, please ask for the rights to edit the document with your Google account.
Yeah.
I will give you the rights. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. So see you in 2 weeks.
Ciao.
I think
Bye-bye.
I have the rights to edit the document. Uh,
Yeah. Normally,
yeah, I think
you have the rights to comment, but can you ask for like editor rights?
okay.
I think on the right, on the top right, you can ask now for. Not sure.
Yeah, I'll just I can send the screen, I guess.
Yeah. Or I need to give you host, or you can share your screen.
I think I can share my screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think yeah here on sharing.
this option is
No,
not coming up.
a bit up. Well, yeah, here. I think yeah.
I think I can send you my email
Ask,
address and you can.
maybe ask to share. No, yeah. Or I don't know. No. Okay, yeah. But send me your mail on the Slack. Yeah, we will figure it out. Okay. Thank you. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
See you next. Bye.